the arid deserts of the American Southwest. They are home to one of the wildest deer species in North America, the Coues whitetail. This subspecies of whitetail deer is often referred to as the gray ghost, and for good reason. These things are hard to spot. Join me on my annual trip of fun and frustration are my buddies Jay and Shane. We've got the truck all packed up and we're headed to a spot just north of the Mexico-Arizona border. After a bit of road clearing, we arrive at camp. Arizona's vast road system allows for a few more of the comforts from home. Beds, pillows, even a stove make this different from your typical backcountry hunt. What remains though is the Christmas morning-like anticipation for the first day of your hunt. We are up well before sunrise the next morning. These whitetail are similar to their Midwest brethren, that most of their movement comes just after sunrise and just before sunset, so you can plan on most of your hiking happening in the dark. You have to be to your glassing point well before sunrise. Once there, settle in and do as hunters have done for millennia. Wait for the first light to crack the horizon. Once the sun is high enough for us to start to glass, we start to see some deer. But it's always a lesson in humility.
So I feel like every year I get out here, and every year I gotta remember what a Coues deer looks like through binos. It's crazy how small they are, and what they actually look like at distance through binos. I just picked up a doe, and the only way I found her was a little flip of her white tail. She was the fattest doe I've ever seen. I stared at her for a good 5 minutes, assuming I was just missing antlers, but at least we're starting to see something on day one. I already found some javelina, so we'll just keep grinding out on the binos and see what we find.
We glass through the morning and continue to turn up deer in all places. Some too far for the camera even, and some on our same hillside. We continue to glass into the afternoon and begin to find deer in their beds. And then it happens. Now this buck won't be in any record books, but he'll sure look good in our freezers and fill in our families. We found him at 820 yards, so we have some distance to close before we are in an ethical shot range. Jay and I set off, and Shane stays in the binos. After about an hour, we arrive at the moment of truth. This is what you prepared for all year. Slow in your breathing, a smooth, steady trigger press. Be the best predator that you can be. Huh? Good hit. He's gonna go down. Well, as you guys just saw, Jay just smacked a Coues deer. It's not the biggest one, but we're not picky right now. There's a tough unit and it's public land. We're not going to pass a lot up. This has really got the monkey off our backs. It's been a tough couple of years for us. One year we all got sick. Last year the weather was terrible. This was a pretty exciting deer, despite being a little forky. And I cannot say enough about getting to come out to these cool places with people I genuinely enjoy hanging out with and getting to do things like this. This is the most excited I've ever been for someone else's deer. This is just an amazing experience, and I could not be happier for Jay. Now the deer is hanging out somewhere up over my shoulder that way. Jay's hiking back up to our glassing spot. He'll meet up with Shane, get all our gear that we left, and they'll meet up with me here, and then we'll jump up there and grab it. It's 2:50 in the afternoon. We got plenty of time to go get it. It's laying in the shade, nice and cool. Really couldn't have asked for much better. The shot was 402 yards. Jay rocked him. As any experienced hunter knows, though, the work has just begun. There will be photos and there will be high fives. Any deer is a celebration. But then it's time to get to work. You gotta take care of Jay's first deer. Now, as I said, this deer is not setting any records, but we're definitely proud of it. We accomplished the goal. Go in light and come out just a little bit heavier. We travel far and wide, and even get some sage wisdom from Shane.
I need a hefty male looking for some puss. Go down there.
We find deer after deer after deer. But they all lack the requisite requirement to be a legal deer in the state of Arizona: antlers. But we all begin to feel that internal clock, fighting off the last bit of light on the last day. But then the wait begins for next season.